Om Shanti. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Dress of humility. If someone is in conflict with you, give that person the water of your love. Don't let go of your virtues of sweetness and humility. Constantly wear your dress of humility. This humility is your shield, which is a means of your safety. The easiest way to harmonize sanskars is to make yourself full of humility and sweetness. Give others the elevated seat. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avekti Parivar. Today's day 12. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Today's topic, dress of humility. Pass with honor. Power of discriminant. Sweet, sweet child, you are my swan. You have the power to recognize the pearl. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Avyakti Parivar is a worldwide family. This program began during COVID time. It was also Dadi Janki when it was her 12th day of Bhog. Dadi Janki used to love to do chit chat after 7:30. So when we were offering Bhog, we thought we will continue chit chat. So those of us few were at the center every evening at 7:30 for 15 minutes. We will revise morning only or something. But then COVID came when people couldn't come out. Many centers, they didn't have electricity, or so then Bhumivan had this thought to get Zoom. It's quite a big company. So she arranged for whole region and said anyone who wants, we can arrange Zooms so that you can be part of this chit chat. And then of course not only region, many countries from the world keep asking. And there was some who could afford, some cannot. But we said everyone will get. Because I believe a lot into, we do for ourselves what if we can do for unlimited family. So my thinking always is, let's share everything with everyone. Because now we have about how many 160 some Zoom line so that everyone can use it at their center. So every country take one or two or three, some take four even, depends on, because those days people won't come at center, so they had to use the Zoom. And that is why our more than half of the program is in English, because this whole world who is listening. But there is translation in 9 languages. We have many from Nepal, and they like to translate from English or Hindi to their language. So it's Spanish, French, from English to Hindi, even Hindi to English. And they are very good translators. And they had been doing it for 7 years, 6 years. And nobody is tired or retired. Everyone is continuing. And that shows that, when there is attainment of something, then you don't want to leave it. Right? So this is how it continues, and is continuing now to larger number of the family. Because what I feel that if the instruments and Baba's children, they are in good stage and they are progressing, it will help whole family. And if we want whole worldwide, especially Baba's children, they are accurate, they are good in dharana, they are regular in study, it definitely helps the new ones to do it. But if old ones are careless and don't pay attention to studies, then that kind of atmosphere gets created. So to be in class every morning or to study Murli every day, there's so many things which I think we need to be a good example of. So today Baba is again talking about humility. And Baba is calling it, wear the dress of humility. So Baba said that it is, if somebody is in conflict with you or wants to confront you, because when there is conflict, you try to confront. So Baba says, give that person the water of your love. When people behave in a particular way, you know that in their life they never had experience of what is love, what is patience. Lot of circumstances when they were children or they were in school. So those sanskars get created and they start behaving based on those sanskars. But if we, through Baba's knowledge and through good example, help them to give that company, you sow the seed of love, of mercy, all these different ones. Because some don't know this is the right behavior, this is the right, because they never were exposed to right kind of things. So that is why it's very important for instruments to do what the souls need, not keep saying they don't have this, they don't have bhavana. If I have bhavana for bhog, one place I went, they use good flowers. Flowers are always good. But I always think that we should offer roses to Baba because there is fragrance, there is beauty. So I went to this place. So they had, maybe they are half price than roses. But my bhavna that if we buy fruit for Baba, it should be the best fruit. And some buy which are the cheapest one because it's less cost, right? But for God, anything we offer should be really from big heart. And when it is from big heart, you keep receiving. When we first went to New York, we didn't have much money, but where our flat was, across the street was a flower shop. So one of the sister, in those countries, when she came from work, she will buy one flower every day, no, on Thursday. So this person noticed, the shopkeeper, he noticed that she buys one flower. And so he asked her for what you buy. And she said to offer to God. So he started adding some leaves and one or two more flowers. So it was three, four flowers now. And the time came that he will keep the bouquet of flowers ready, that when this sister come, I will give whatever money she gave. Bhavna. There is saying that bhavna mein barkat hai. If you really have pure bhavna, then things will flourish. But if you have, I say, not generous, not have those bhavna for Baba, for Bhog, then you will see same things. So bhavna, sowing the seed of bhavna, it will help others also to see and they learn. Mhm. So that's something. That's why we have to see why this person is not able to do, because that person never was exposed or sustained with that quality. So you start doing what that person doesn't know, the change will happen. You can see that because he is receiving that what soul has never received. So that is what Baba said, Data, no? What is being Data? What is bestower? Bestower is just give, no? So it's very subtle, especially to create good sanskars in others. Right? So Baba says that give that person the water of your love. Don't let do, don't let go of your virtues of sweetness and humility. because if someone doesn't answer properly, I said, then I do same. But it's all right. It is that person, but I have to be sweet and humble. Constantly wear the dress of humility. Why Baba is saying dress is like personality, So Baba says this humility is your shield. That means that shield means it's a means for your safety. Any person, even if it's an ordinary person, is on the chair of his position. One time we were coming out of Mansarovar and president was there, but I think he was leaving. So one of the brother, they stopped the car. First president's car has to go. And he was upset. And he arguing with that security person. And of course he was on duty. So he wouldn't let him go. So he came out of car and start kind of arguing with, because they said that my passenger also is the president of organization. How can you not do that? And I keep saying, but let them do their duty, because if he doesn't do, he will lose his job. Why you are trying to force, So if anyone, whether in police or security, even they are ordinary, but you have to listen because they are on duty. And if they don't do anything happen, their job is gone, right? When we pass custom, some people say to me, sorry, we had to do it. I said, do your duty. I never say, why are you checking? You have to believe me. I think they believe, but they're doing their duty. So I think that respecting people whosoever on whatever duty they are, you cannot say I am bigger in status, but they are on duty. So even there is a minister, they will let president go before minister, and they respect. So we have to be little bit sensible that it's not externally, it's my position, this is my this. Humility is very, very important. This humility is your shield, which is a means for your safety. The to harmonize, easiest way to harmonize sanskars is to, Baba says, make yourself full of humility and sweetness. So Baba says, give others elevated seat. Because sometimes we go by not soul consciousness, but status consciousness or many different kinds of consciousness. And then the way we act doesn't seem very respectful or royal. We have to keep maintaining soul consciousness, and our royalty is very important. So in many, many different ways, there can be ego, there can be bitterness of some kind. And within Brahmin family, we have to have good wishes for each other. We use good wishes for whole world, right? But why not Brahmin family? For everyone to have any feelings. We had in Pandavaman, there was one brother who was on the gate, was very strong person. And we all were young, right? So anything we will do, he won't let us do. So we ignored, we said, it's all right. Baba Mama loved us, but he was very strong. Like our car is going, he will, show his, this is my authority. And we said, okay, let him do. And a time came that same brother, so respectful, so, because we didn't react to his behavior, we kept in our self-respect. And same brother, when I see, and I said, because we were okay with him, no? So the change happened. Many we have seen, they change because you respect them. Like what Baba is saying, give that person an elevated seat. Okay, that's your duty, you do it properly. Because what I noticed here, when we were giving gifts a few days ago, brothers were very organized. One line, they will come. But sisters come from this side, this side. So there were 4 lines. Now, how you give, okay, you try to do it. And we tried so much that make one line, but they appear from somewhere other. So I said one day we have to give training. No, because even on the road, if everyone goes on their lane, you go faster. But in India, one comes in front. Going faster is actually going slow because only one car can go or only one soul can get a gift at a time. And if you are online, it goes faster. If you don't go in line, then it's confusion, right? Person who is giving or taking, and one time they, you know, giving fruit and they will snatch from me. So I gave sweet drishti. I said, that's not how you take it, no? So sisters are stronger sometimes. Brothers are respectful, right? Anyway, what I mean that how respect whosoever is playing that part. No? When you respect, you will get respect also. Never use something which is not sweet and humble. So that's Baba says, the dress of humility. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, good morning, good evening. This
Good
is
evening.
the other brother, Eric. So I'm in Global Harmony House right now, sort of, looking out our main window towards the sunsets. So hope
That's what I'm wondering. How beautiful it is.
This
So
is
you are sitting where?
view from the balcony. In the trees aren't blocking it yet, so it's quite lovely in the balcony of Harmony House there. And
Looks
so
like that.
soon you will be here to maybe witness the sunshine coming in all our windows. That sounds good?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good and sounds good.
All right. I was thinking to bring a rose, but the roses at the White House, Parivar, aren't ready yet. So we'll have to let those grow a little, but they are starting to grow. They're waiting for you to return before they bloom. They're very patient. They're very humble. They're very sweet in those things. The idea of the shield, when we have that humility, when we are, I guess, respectful of the others, that practice of listening to them, how is it the discernment develops in us to be able to know how to respond to someone? What is that practice? Because in order to give them something, we need to recognize what they might not have had or what they're missing. And so that sensitivity is a part of this also. Does that come when we are humble and we're aware, or is there something else that we might need to practice to activate that?
You know, we have different people helping us. I'm not talking of Brahmin family, but you have a gardener, you have, different people around you. And if you are loving to them, if you are generous with them, they become so loyal to us. It's like they will protect you. They will, make sure you are okay. You start feeling those vibrations from them. And sometimes you feel they might be your relatives more. They are more kind than your own relatives, maybe. So, what I have seen, what we give, whatever way we give, it comes back to us in a very beautiful way. And you start then feeling that they listen to you, they are friends to you, they could protect you. So I feel that sometimes whether it is any workers or whosoever is around us, we should treat them properly. And when you do that, like it's very, very hot, and if there is somebody working for 3 hours, at least you can offer water, right? Or it could be with the Brahmin family. Just a cup of tea. It's just heart opens, friendship grow, and change happens in the hearts of people. And that's what we have to do, so that our environment around us is not what people are, but what I am. Because I can create an environment of love, friendship, respect. But instead of complaining every time this one is like that, that one. But what I have to be and give, if I continue to do that, I will keep receiving that too. That's what I have noticed.
Do you think that that practice that we have with the Brahma Kumaris of always giving, blessing, totally gifts, such like that, is a connected to this shield of humility, that we offer that out of love and we give them those things in a way that helps them experience maybe some of the qualities that they might be missing, and then allows us to be the instruments, whether we tell them in words or not, some of their natural qualities, some of that essence of themselves, that we highlight that in our actions.
Because the best way to give knowledge is really to, when we live that life, or our inculcation and dharanas are based on knowledge. We are teaching in a proper way. We don't have to teach, people will learn. When we have practical or practice in the life, automatically others are inspired, or they have energy even. Like if it's a simple thing, if one person starts yawning, you will see how many start yawning. But if you are sitting alert, then others will get alert. It's a kind of behavior which creates the environment. So I think that Baba's knowledge, if we have in our awareness and in our practice, practical life, if that is there, then I think that it's easy for people. But if they see something which is not really based on knowledge and dharana, even if every day you can teach, but they won't be able to learn that. So I think being the embodiment of knowledge is the best way to teach, but also to glorify Baba and the respect for the principles of what we follow, in our practical life. So I think that it does definitely help if we are embodiment of what we are saying, right?
For sure. We have to
Yeah.
be for it to have that effect. And what you said earlier tonight made me think that, we have a shield, sweetness and the humility. And so that's kind of a defensive picture that I have. But when we're defensive, there's a protection, but we don't have to fight. And you have said this, and I know Sister Shanti had said it before too, that we don't have to fight about anything because what's ours will come to us. And what's not ours will never come to us. So we don't have to fight about anything. And so that kind of reinforces that why not be sweet and why not be caring and giving chance? Because no one's going to take what's ours anyway.
Because when you give chance to others, they definitely will say, you do it too. Any kind of offering, if you offer, you will be offered. But if you don't care, then the same attitude you will come to you. So I think that it's very contagious, the virtues and our dharana. Those who come in front or our vibrations can bring those virtues in them also. So what you're receiving, like if somebody brings flowers to you, you won't give thorns, right? You will also try to find if I can have some flowers to offer. So it's always said what you give, you get, right? So same could be with our drishti, it could be our behavior, it could be our charity with virtues. So what we give, that we receive, no? Because that they also said you get what you deserve, right? Or what you get is your fortune.
Yeah.
So definitely we don't have to fight with anyone. But should I make efforts to get or leave it? I stand and say, okay, whatever I have to get. Or should I kind of think, oh, I should get? At least I should have that thought, right?
Yeah, efforts are a big part of it. And I guess that would be a balancing. How much effort should I make and how much should I kind of encourage or energize my own ideas for some of these things? So I guess that comes from experience.
Dadis, whatever interaction we had with them, somewhere they always helped us to develop some of the important qualities which we should have, like power to discern, power to be careful not to be influenced. The way that these gave us direction, I always saw the benefit of they wanted to see our abilities grow. And I think same should be our attitude towards whether our companions or our juniors who are helping us, so that the environment becomes such that automatically, because your ways, not only my way, it becomes our ways. So a pattern gets created. Of course, pattern of thinking is incognito, but pattern of our behavior, interaction with others, I think it becomes like, the environment of that place and relationships also. It's the virtues and being embodiment, inculcation is very subtle, right?
Yeah.
And definitely we get all that learning from Baba's teachings.
Sure. I'm going to pivot a little. You mentioned the dadis and the teachings and such, but today here's the end of Saturday. So for you, yesterday's Murli was unique because it wasn't a Mama's Murli and it wasn't the regular Avyakt or Sakar, but it was the Diaries of the Dadis. And there was no previous date when it was coming out. So quite curious as to the essence of that and who might have looked at all the diaries and put these together, because it was incredibly rich and essenceful and covered a lot of things. So just your input on the Diaries of the Dadis class that we had from early today.
Yeah, I had discussion on that. One thing I definitely felt that I miss Morley. Even it was really rich about patience and all the virtues. So I was suggesting it's good to have that what we got yesterday, but also if we can have Morley, then as part of Mama's Morley, so you can give a part of Dadi's diaries in the end, so that we don't feel that we haven't heard Morley today. Even what we heard was very rich, was very valuable, and we respect it. But also our nature of listening to Morley every day, I did miss, and I had to talk to that person that, do it. We are happy about it. But let's have Morley, and then in the end, a part of Dadi's diaries also.
We've done
But
that with Mama's Murli on shorter ones. They've been added to that at the end, and those are always nice. But I would support your suggestion to have something from the Dadis after the Murli, even though this was wonderful and rich, and I have a lot of questions that I won't get to ask you tonight. But the sense of what they would have heard and what they would have learned and how they communicated that was refreshing also.
Anyway, I had the conversation, and I hope it will work.
I'm sure
and then
it will.
we will have Morley, and also part of whatever else from seniors and from Mama, whosoever it is, we will be happy to hear.
Good.
Including Morley. That was my proposal.
And just want to highlight one final thing is that when I was in India, the flights were disrupted. And I believe that it's kind of settled down now in lots of different ways. But there was some concern about what was happening there. And it seems that the yoga of yourselves and us here has caused a 2-week kind of quiet time. And I'm seeing that it is the yoga of all of us invoking you to return safely during that period. And so hoping that you will travel safely here soon, and that the world is being quiet for your safe transport and travels. And when you're here, we'll see what happens. But there's a great excitement for your return to New York.
Thank you very much. And I know that, yes, that vibrations and love brings us back protected. And soon we will see you all there.
Very good. So you have another shield to carry with you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Om Shanti. Thank you.